Happy New Year! Hello everyone, how are you doing? Hope your hangovers aren't too bad. I think in Oz you should be hopefully recovered by now. I'm not sure that this is actually going live because the signal's so bad around here. I can't actually do any videoing right by the tree. Oh yeah, I can see a couple of people there now. Hello, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. So here we are, 2023. A lot of mixed feelings, I think, for people. Understandably so. What could be just around the corner. But in my mind, it's all in our control. It all comes down to our own dealing with things, really, within ourselves. I'm not one for resolutions. I mean, to be quite honest, this isn't really New Year for me because it's far more a New Year when it's springtime, and you've got new life coming back and it's all very visible. And I think this is having the New Year at this point in midwinter in this hemisphere anyway, is kind of part of the design to throw us out of sync. I think in whichever hemisphere we're in, actually springtime, the beginning of spring is the real New Year, the real shifting of that energy. And yeah, it fits in with the cycles, the natural cycles. But anyway, so yeah, I'm not one for resolutions, but in 2023 my resolve will simply continue to release the fear that's brought up, that which is when we look at everything that's happened in the last nearly 3 years now, I mean, and obviously way before this hit, but with this particular psyop and scam and part of the pushing forward of the agenda, every time somebody has complied, has acquiesced, has given away their freedom, there's been fear at the heart of that decision. It's always a decision, it is always a choice. It might not feel like there's any choice, but it is, as we've seen, because there are lots of us that chose to not go along with things out of fear, even though we felt it. And so, as I've said over and over again, this entire operation is run on fear. The whole matrix, if you like, is constructed from fear. It runs on it, it's dependent on it, it's what feeds it, it's what keeps it going, and it's what keeps the people held in place. It's the fear, and the fear is really, when you look at it, it's personal consequences. It's trying to keep oneself safe, and this is very much pushed by them as well. It's purely psychological. That's what they're working on most of the time. But any time you step out of that fear, they've got no hold on you. Because, what else is there that they can use against you? how else can they get you to consent and comply and go along with the insanity we're seeing? It's fear of consequences, and also, you know, the ultimate fear of death. So the people that have really believed in the whole virus thing and so on and so forth, absolutely willing to have no life whatsoever worth actually living in order to survive. I mean, it's something that had which was flu anyway, in my opinion, but a 99% survival rate. You know, it's all operating on triggering those fears within people. And so I think the main thing in all of this is to face the fear, face the evil, look it straight in the eye and move through it, overcome it. And that's when everything changes, and it changes on a very personal level as well, because you're not living in the same way. You're not going to be subject to all of this nonsense because you're actually vibrating on a different frequency, and it's all energy, and they know this full well. And fear is a very strong energy, and that's what feeds this whole thing and keeps it going. So when we actually pull ourselves out of that, but it's a job, you know, it's not easy, because they're really triggering very primal things within us, things that we've been really conditioned as well over many years into feeling. We've been separated, we've been divided, our communities have been split up. We don't have that kind of reliance and dependence and closeness with our neighbours and just the people living around us, and that has a very profound effect. And you don't have that feeling of safety and security that people did have before, and which is why something like this could never have been attempted before, because it just wouldn't have worked. It couldn't have worked. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm stepping into 2023 with. Again, it is a process. There are always new crazy things to try and I don't think you can get your head around. I think that's one thing actually as well, is maintaining that inner balance, because looking out there, it's going to get madder and madder, and you're not going to find any kind of stability or balance if you're looking outside for it, because it's mental, and it's going to get more mental. But as with everything, what we look for out there is actually always within us. We have everything we need inside, everything we've ever been searching for. It's all there. And so as the bread and circus continues, and the multiple distractions, the hysteria, the people that will be telling you that you should be fearful and we have to do something, and it's all about taking action in the physical, which I'm not arguing against by any means, but this is not it's not where everything's actually happening. It's not where everything's at. It's very much how are we projecting ourselves out into that reality. What frequency are we vibrating on? And when it's in fear, when it's in anxiety and worry, sheer terror for some people, then they gotcha. They've got their claws firmly into you, and you are absolutely serving their system, their purposes, and none of us want to be doing that. So it's the inner work, as always. That's the thing. that is going to change this once and for all, forever. It's happening. It is happening. People are waking up. I do actually feel very, very positive entering this new year, so-called. I do. I think we're just going to see an upswell. I'm not saying it won't be challenging. I think it's going to be incredibly challenging, but it seems to be that's when we have those growth spurts, when we're really pushed to the wall. I think when you can't keep running away from yourself as much as anything else, that's when we start to tap into these incredible reserves of strength, and there's something way beyond just our little identities, you know, our personalities and preferences and characters, and you know, all of that stuff. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on. It's a lovely morning here actually. It's pretty mild, and some other stands have just arrived, so I'm going to get back under the tree, enjoy a cup of tea and connecting again. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful first day of 2023. Bring it on, I say, and I will speak to you very soon. Lots of love. Peace.